This video is brought to you by Keeps.
Worlds will burn.
There used to be a time when YouTube wasn't mainstream. A time where popular uploads weren't called memes, but instead viral videos. And the majority of said videos were created just for the hell of it, because a person could upload a video. And that was somewhat of a novelty in the late 2000s. Fred, Smosh, Ray William Johnson, just a bunch of nerds discovering that, to their surprise, there was an audience on YouTube, and these viewers kept coming back for more. I was there, Gandalf. I was there when the first wave of popular YouTubers were crossing milestones. 100,000 subs, 1 million subs, 10 million subs. And then we all collectively lost our minds when Gangnam Style became the first video in YouTube history to break 1 billion views in 2012. Almost 10 years ago. I'm getting old. But during the mid-2010s, something happened. I noticed a massive upswing in the amount of viewers watching on YouTube, and also those who wanted to upload their own content. And things changed fast. I started to see YouTube channels break milestones left and right. Wait, who is this? I never even heard of them before. 12 million subscribers? How? It's just prank videos. No doubt, it was a shocker, as these milestones were once considered to be incredibly rare, but are now crushed on the daily. But the one arena of YouTube that caught me totally by surprise was nursery rhymes, aka YouTube kid cartoons. And the de facto king of this genre is a channel that goes by the name of CoComelon. 130 million subscribers, 3 billion average views per month, over 123 billion views for the entire channel. And of course, like a hydra in its heads, plenty of spin-off channels with numbers that would make any YouTuber envious. Folks, CoComelon is a monster and is only second to T-Series when it comes to subscribers and views. Though if CoComelon stays on its current trajectory, it might become #1 within a few years. But that begs the question, how the hell did this happen? How did this channel with subpar children animation quickly become one of the titans of YouTube? Well, I actually think I know how it was done, and it has to do with smartphones, Elsagate, and COVID. Oh yeah, get your detective hats ready and pull out your magnifying glasses. It's gonna be one of those kinds of videos. I just hope that CoComelon doesn't hate my video and take it down the same way they did with PewDiePie's. I'm not joking. He did a diss track about CoComelon, and YouTube removed it on the grounds of cyberbullying. Yeah, don't mess with off-brand Tommy Pickles, or he'll delete you from existence.
Well, now you're num-nums.
By the way, before we begin, I just wanted to mention that I have a gaming channel called Saberspark 64, where I do video essays and reviews about video game stuff. Recently, I did a video about how Warcraft almost ruined my life back in the day. So go check it out. Subscribe to Saberspark 64. Okay, back to these mutant babies. So, what are the origins behind the behemoth that is CoComelon? How does a channel like this even come into existence? Initially, I thought that CoComelon was the result of corporate interest. In the mid to late 2010s, we saw a huge increase of companies trying to get a slice of the pie on YouTube. And naturally, I thought that CoComelon would fall into that category. But I was completely wrong. CoComelon has technically been on YouTube since 2006, though it was originally called Checkgate, or more officially, that's meontv.com. The person behind the founding of this channel was Jay Gion, his wife, and his 2 sons. By the way, during my research for this topic, I discovered that the wife and the kids wish to remain anonymous, so we are going to respect that and just focus on Jay for the most part. So, according to Jay, he and his wife launched That's Me on TV as a hobby and a way to make animated shorts for their kids. Jay had prior experience with filmmaking and animation, and his wife was an illustrator. According to him, his kids love the animated shorts, and he and his wife wanted to share those creations online. Some of their earliest videos included different versions of the alphabet song, though none of these uploads were big hits at the time. In 2013, the channel's name was changed to ABC Kid TV, and the idea of branding was more prominent in the uploads. It's funny because the videos for CoComelon from 2006 to 2015 looked nothing like the visuals you would see nowadays. As a matter of fact, you would not see the literal poster children for CoComelon until 2016. Good timing for them, because that would be the year where the channel would begin to pick up momentum. In 2018, the channel changed its name yet again, but this time to the name that we're all familiar with, CoComelon. And what a year 2018 would be for the channel. According to Wayback Machine, at the start of 2018, CoComelon had 3.5 million subscribers. Not bad at all. But at the end of 2018, they had 31 million subscribers. That is insane. And they would go on to nearly double that amount in 2019. How? That's the question on everyone's mind. How? Well, I will explain my theory here in a moment. Just know that CoComelon was not the only children's channel to blow up in popularity during the 2010s. Ryan's World, Baby Shark, and legions of toy unboxing channels. It was abundantly clear that kids were no longer watching television. They were watching YouTube. And for those who could succeed on the platform, there were some very lucrative profits to be made. According to my sources, CoComelon ad rev on YouTube was around $120 million in 2019. And that is just from monetization. That doesn't even include toys, clothes, books, and all of that merchandising goodness. CoComelon had risen to the top of a very competitive, very aggressive, very lucrative genre of YouTube. And they were the undisputed king. Again, it's kind of wild how this all began in 2006 and was done by a family. I kind of respect that, to be honest. And it's a testament that YouTube has opportunity if you're lucky enough to find it. But this is a very competitive genre of YouTube.
Fight! 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 Baby fights!
The amount of parents and their kids, or hell, just adults on their own, cranking out content onto YouTube is absurd. They want to be the next big thing. But yeah, good luck with that. It's a tough bracket. Well, the blessings did not stop for Jay and his family, as they sold CoComelon to Moonbug Entertainment for an undisclosed amount. Methinks they probably made a very pretty penny, considering how much Peppa Pig cost when Hasbro bought it, and CoComelon is just as successful, if not more so. But that's just speculation. By the way, I could not find out much about the production process for CoComelon. I believe a studio owned by Jay, called Treasure Studio Inc., is behind the production of CoComelon. It's out there somewhere in Southern California and has like 20 people working at the studio according to the studio's website. But that brings us back to the main question of the video. How did CoComelon take over YouTube? Was it dumb luck? Strategy? A blood sacrifice to the demon chaos god of Slanesh? I mean, probably. I gotta sacrifice pictures of the teacher from CoComelon to appease the chaos gods. By the way, folks, do not Google Miss Appleberry with a safe search off. Just trust me on that one. I will never be the same. Alright, so how was this done? How did CoComelon rise to the top? And without the initial assistance of a giant corporation at its back. Yeah, T-Series is #1 on YouTube, but that is a huge company compared to the size of CoComelon and its operating cost. Well, in my opinion, it is due to the following factors. #1, the rise of smart devices with children. I really don't want to sound like an old man shaking his fist at the kids off my rocker on the front porch of my yard. I really don't. I like technology. I used it to make this video. and you're using it right now to listen to this video. But my God, the level of accessibility and instant gratification for people today is off the charts. Tablets and phones that grant you endless entertainment at your fingertips. Pretty damn awesome. But something that can spiral out of control for a person who lacks self-restraint. And I think we all know that children aren't really renowned for their self-discipline. If anything for them, it's kind of the opposite. But honestly, I blame the parents. Now, this discussion of entertainment raising children has been around since like the 1980s, with Saturday morning cartoons. In the 90s, it was MTV and Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network. And then video games got the same treatment in the 90s, the 2000s, the 2010s, and up to this very year. Content has and continues to become more widely available for consumers. I remember watching the hell out of cartoons when I was a kid, for like hours on end. But at least there was some level of built-in restraint when it came to television. There was a rotation on these networks of different shows that would air, so at least I got some kind of variety. And also, I couldn't bring the TV with me whenever I left the room. But now, things are different. If you want to grab your smartphone and watch CoComelon for the next 70 years of your life, hey, go for it. Consume. Again, I understand why parents would give their kids a tablet to shut them up, but that gives them instant access and gratification that could potentially condition them in an unhealthy way down the road. And it's also why a channel like CoComelon rose to the top of YouTube. Because kids freaking love it. If it is in front of them, then they will click it. And that leads into my next point. Number 2, YouTube's algorithm. To be blessed by the gods of YouTube. Maybe this video will go viral and YouTube will recommend it to millions of people. Oh, never mind, it got ghosted. It happens. YouTube's algorithm is a mysterious being. One that could be the topic of multiple video essays. Just know that its job is to identify what the people want and to give it to them. Maybe you said the right word in your video, or perhaps it has the right tags or title or a very eye-catching thumbnail. Okay, well, YouTube's algorithm just took notice of it. And if you keep running with that momentum and can keep up the pace, it might continue to push your content into the eyes of millions of people. That is exactly what happened with CoComelon. Its video Bath Songs, plus more nursery rhymes, was recommended to hell and back on YouTube and got over 5 billion views. Needless to say, that was instrumental to CoComelon's massive success in 2018, and they've been riding that wave ever since. Number 3, Elsagate. Now, this is where I get a little creative with my theory. For those who don't know, Elsagate is the title of a controversy that happened on YouTube back in 2017. In a nutshell, YouTube kid videos were anything but child-friendly and featured thumbnails and uploads that featured very questionable and graphic situations. I did a video about the topic back in 2017, but YouTube straight up deleted my upload with like no explanation. I must have struck a nerve. This content was scummy and predatory and disguised themselves as kid cartoons and nursery rhymes. And my God, were parents upset when they discovered the truth. And it blew up in YouTube's face. In November of 2017, the purge began, and YouTube started to delete thousands of channels and millions of uploads that fell into the Elsagate category. So, that left a bit of a vacuum, didn't it? CoComelon, despite looking kind of low quality and weird looking, wasn't guilty of any malicious violations. They were straight edge and were poised to fill the gap that was created by the purge. Now, there was a small pullback due to COPPA and the FCC, but CoComelon survived that too, and then took off to the moon. Number 4, COVID. You're telling me that there's millions of people at home with nothing to do. Well, you better believe that YouTube was at the ready, especially for all the kids who are now at home with their parents. Oh my God, My kid won't shut the hell up. It's been 2 months. I hope COVID is done by the end of 2020. Christ and turtle. Here, child, watch whatever the hell this is. CoComelon? Okay, yeah, that's what YouTube suggested. Just watch that and shut up. That's what happened, folks. While the pandemic was terrible for so many people and industries, it was a blessing for so many YouTube channels, especially CoComelon. These kids would just sit down in a trance and watch these big-eyed characters with their repetitive nursery rhyme music all day long. And that leads into my final point. Number 5, CoComelon is mesmerizing. I have nieces and nephews, and they like watching YouTube kid cartoons. There was this one time when I was babysitting for them, and I was like, hey, who wants to watch a Disney movie or something? And they were like, nah, we're good. We get our tablets. We're gonna watch this stuff instead. And then they proceeded to spend the next few hours watching CoComelon, and they could not look away. I was like, are they even blinking? Should I get like a squirt gun to mist their eyes so their veins won't rupture? I felt like I could have shot a gun in the house and they wouldn't have noticed. These cartoons are designed to be eye-catching. Bright, saturated colors, big eyes and faces, quick edits and pacing, and of course, the enchanting nursery rhyme. It is the equivalent of holding keys up to a kid's face and jingling and jangling them for the next 4 hours. The majority of kids don't know what good is. They don't have a concept of quality yet. They are just looking for visual stimulation. And they get it with CoComelon and the hundreds of other YouTube kid cartoons on the platform. So yeah, I see CoComelon's rise to be one that benefited from accessible technology, tired parents who just want their kids to shut up, YouTube's aggressive algorithm, the power vacuum that was left after the Elsagate purge, the increase in viewership due to COVID, and of course the content itself being deliberately mesmerizing. All of these combined factors equate to a channel that is one of the biggest titans of YouTube history, and it just keeps growing, and that kind of concerns me. In conclusion, CoComelon has proven itself to be quite the eye-opener when it comes to demonstrating the power of YouTube. I started this video off sharing nostalgic memories of YouTube back in the day, how it was once a quirky website where I would watch Zelda CDI YouTube poops, World of Warcraft PvP videos, and witness the beginning of the online YouTube star. There's something romantic about seeing someone from humble beginnings go and make something of themselves. And here's the thing, CoComelon falls into that category and is technically the greatest example we've seen of that on the platform. It was a small family who had an idea, spent years honing it and adapting it, and then was blessed with insane momentum that they were able to capitalize on. I have no ill will or criticism to the family whatsoever. Now, the channels that are shamelessly trying to speedrun the success of CoComelon, don't really care for them. But for what it's worth, Jay and his family have always conducted themselves respectfully and with tact. Now, as far as the content goes, I personally don't care for CoComelon. But hey, it's not meant for me. It's for kids. And if parents truly have any issues with the show, then go put on something else. Go watch Bluey. I can't overstate this enough. It is ultimately up to the parents to take care of their kid, not YouTube. Now, that being said, YouTube can stand to improve things a bit. I feel like it's only a matter of time before another COPPA or FCC issue happens again. Television has to deal with the FCC and has to obey certain regulations and guidelines. But YouTube is completely different compared to TV, especially when it comes to the amount of content being generated. Content that is much cheaper and lower quality than television. For example, back in the 80s and 90s, there was a group called the Action for Children's Television, and they were proponents for the Children's Television Act of 1990. This effectively dunked on Saturday morning cartoons from the 80s that were seen as glorified toy commercials, and replacements were called upon that were more educational and higher quality. How long until something like that happens again, but with YouTube? And would it necessarily be a bad thing? Who can say? At the end of the day, we find ourselves in a rapidly evolving landscape, moving at a speed which the human race has never seen before. I can't help but feel that we're just holding on for dear life as the wheels of technology spin faster and faster. I won't lie though, I do miss the old days of YouTube, where it felt more personal, less crowded, and had less of a corporate vibe to it. But I also wouldn't be as blessed as I am with my job if it wasn't for these changes. I suppose that is the give and take of it all. But as far as CoComelon goes, I am just eternally thankful for Miss Appleberry, who really puts the melon and CoComelon, if you know what I mean. I'm going to hell for this. Yep, I'm going to hell. So a big shout out to this video sponsor, Keeps. I'm old, Gandalf. I know I don't look it, but I feel it. Of course, I say this as a 33-year-old acting like I'm 90, you know? Actually, you know what? No, I have a complaint against my own body. Like a week ago, I was at the gym, lifting weights, felt good. I came home to shower. I was drying my hair and I pulled my shoulder muscle on my left side and it hurt like hell. And it made my neck bend to the left. And I was like, wait, what? I pulled a muscle by drying my hair? Oh God, how embarrassing. Like my neck and shoulder are still sore. At this point, I'm just waiting for my left arm to fall off completely, like some kind of detachable feature of an action figure. Oh, there it goes. To no one's surprise, getting old sucks. And I'm already bracing myself for changes down the road. More muscle aches, wearing white socks up to my kneecaps, and of course, losing my hair. But here's the good news, guys. You can do something about that hair loss. Not the socks though, you gotta wear those. That's inevitable. But we can manage the hair. Many guys have to deal with hair loss. Like, did you know that 2 out of 3 guys will experience some form of male pattern baldness by the time that they're 35? Yeah, it's that common. And the best way to prevent hair loss is to do something about it while you still have hair left. And that is where Keeps comes in. What is Keeps, you ask? Well, it's a subscription service that focuses on making it easier and more affordable for men to treat their male pattern baldness, but doing so online. You got online doctor consultations with real licensed doctors. They will review your information and will then recommend a hair loss treatment plan for you. A plan that offers generic options of the FDA-approved medications for hair loss. That means that these treatments are legit and way more affordable. And with Keeps, your treatment is shipped directly to your door every 3 months. On top of that, communication is key when it comes to this kind of stuff. It can honestly be kind of intimidating at first, but don't worry. Your doctor is only a message away and can be accessed through online doctor messaging 24/7. Do you have any questions or concerns about your progress? Well, hit up your doctor online. And also track your progress with Keeps' progress tracking tool. Once you get everything up and running with your Keeps treatment, you'll start to see results between 4 to 6 months. So, if you want to save the hair you have left, you better act on this fast. Keeps is legit one of the best services when it comes to fighting male pattern baldness. There's a reason why it has more 5-star reviews than any of its competitors, and also why hundreds of thousands of men trust Keeps for their hair loss prevention. So, hair loss stops with Keeps. To get 50% off your first order, go to keeps.com/Saberspark or click the link in the description down below. That is KEEPS.com/Saberspark. Go check it out today.